Good. Hi. Welcome to our first ever edition of Trade Talks here with Skillstrader.com. We are actually in Dallas, Texas, and we have the special guest of honor today is Mr. Darren. Darren, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. So nice and hot weather out here in Dallas.
It's good and toasty. It's summertime in Texas.
It's a little hotter than where we're from in Edmonton, Alberta.
There you go.
So if you don't mind, Darren, if you could just tell us a bit about yourself and who you are. We've heard a lot of good things about you, so give us
Thanks a lot, Fadi. So my name is Darren Huggins, and I'm the National Collision Director for Berkshire Hathaway Automotive. And I've been in the business since 1986 and started out in Louisville, Texas with a dealer group called the Huffines Auto Group. Had the privilege of being there for 20 years and growing that business, and really had a dynamic team. In 2007, had the opportunity, was recruited by the Van Tile Group, Mr. Larry Van Tile, and came on board and have been there ever since. So just now starting my 13th year as the National Collision Director for the group. Wow. Our company started many years ago in Kansas City, Missouri, with Cecil Van Tile, who was Mr. Larry Van Tile's father. And they built and grew this organization. Right now, we operate as the Berkshire Hathaway Group. 4 years ago, Mr. Warren Buffett purchased the group, the automotive group, from the Van Tiles, and we now have over 100 locations as far as dealerships, and we operate in 10 different states.
Amazing. So that was one of my questions. You guys are obviously across the country. How many stakeholders are working with Berkshire Hathaway Automotive Group?
Right around 14,000.
14,000.
Yeah, and that's all in the dealer operations. About 1,800 in the collision business.
Okay.
And our collision center footprint is in the 10 states, and we operate 32 collision centers from coast to coast.
Amazing. That's a big group. So, I mean, the topic of our talk today, what we really wanted to understand, your perspective is the automotive industry is changing at a very fast pace. It seems like the technology in these vehicles every day seems to be getting more and more advanced. And I wanted to kind of talk a little about OEM certifications and where, the advantages or disadvantages somebody might have to be part of that. So where do you see the automotive world with the advancements that are happening over the next 3 to 5 years? Like, how do you envision the next 3 to 5 years to roll out, and where are we going to end up? Are they going to be driving themselves? Are they going to be flying as hoverboards as back in the future? Like, what's going on here?
Well, what you're seeing is a lot of complexity in the building from the OEs with these vehicles. You're looking at 2 to 3 substrates in there. So as this technology changes, and now you have ADAS and you have all these advanced safety systems that are out there, you're really, one of the biggest things out there is the scanning, right? So we never had to think about this before. So I believe within the next 2 years, you're going to have to scan every vehicle, pre and post scan, because that's what's going to tell you, is everything set for the consumer to take a safe vehicle away from the repair center. So I just think as the OE certification point, I think it's just the price of admission. I'll be honest with you, we've been working on it for over 8 years. All my shops are certified at least in their brand, if not multiple brands. And I believe that first notice of loss, when the OEs get that working, will definitely change the game.
Mm-hmm. Now there's a heavy pressure on the shops as well, I mean cost-wise, to be able to come up to that. Is there some solutions that you think can be done, or how do we alleviate some of the pressures of the shops out there, that have to spend substantial amounts of money to be able to cater to all these different OEMs?
Well, I think, Fadi, what's going to happen, and you're starting to see it now, is there's some people that, through consolidation, are potentially going to sell out because of the price of admission, right? If you look at what it takes from welders, frame equipment, paint booth equipment, as far as all the training and the technology goes, you're really, if you're going to have any staying power, you're going to have to be very well capital invested.
Yeah, I believe so. I also believe that as it gets further, I mean, people are going to have to really pick and choose which, OEM they're going to want to specialize in, because the cost does get a little heavy for them.
No question. And if you look at our footprint, I mean, we are a dealer group. I mean, we're an automotive company. We buy, we sell cars. At the end of the day, I mean, nothing happens in our organization until we sell a car. Mm-hmm. So, with the rate that we're growing, I mean, the new and pre-owned market is very strong for us. I look for our company to, eventually, acquire more locations and the footprint will expand. So, we're really looking forward to that.
Okay, so I mean, it's fair to say that as we move forward in this industry, certification is going to be very important.
It's going to be the most important, because if you're not certified, think about this for a second. I mean, so you have no affiliation to any group or any shop. So you have an accident, your airbags deploy, hopefully that you don't have any injuries there. But automatically, what's going to happen is there's going to be a voice come on, or there's going to be a first notice of loss, known as FNOL, that's going to come across. And if you are an OE certified facility in that area, or in that PMA, that primary market area, then the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get that first notice of loss, especially if you sold that car.
Yes.
That retention model is really going to become prevalent for the dealer groups.
Yeah, we've even heard about those connected vehicles where the vehicle would get into a collision, and at the point of impact, the closest certified operation around them would already get a first notice of loss saying that this was a left front impact. Potential damage would be headlight, fender, depending on the impact, and then some of those parts would already be pre-ordered to that certified body shop.
That's right.
Prior to the vehicle getting there.
That's correct.
So that's pretty exciting.
Really exciting.
And that's really high technology. So again, reach back to the...
And it's going to be years away. It's not going to be immediately, but I mean, that's where it's going, right? Okay. That's why the certification piece, the training piece, the equipment is going to be so important for longevity in the collision repair space.
Yeah. Well, I do want to shift gears a little bit because there is a small issue in our world, and it's part of our mandate with Skillstrader is we want to be able to attract more people to the trades. We want people to understand that there's some great opportunities in the trade world and really expose that. So how is the labor situation in the automotive world? Is it something that, is there a lot of supply, not enough demand? Is there a lot of demand, not enough supply? Like, what can we talk to?
Well, we know for a fact there's over 40,000 repair facilities out there today. Now, compared to back in the mid-'80s when there was 80,000, it's about half, right? So you look at that and you sit there and go that there's about 197,000 technicians out there. But we also know that we had 16,000 of those technicians. Okay, so not quite 10% that left the trade or the industry. So we know for a fact that the whole piece. I'm really excited about Skillstrader for the fact is that we really have a way to take a look for specific training and specific technicians that are out there and how they meet our needs. So we may have a very young technician that needs an opportunity, and we have a need for that. We may looking for that skilled journeyman or that skilled technician that has multiple years of experience and certification, and we need that. So I'm very excited about what Skillstrader is going to offer the industry.
Well, we appreciate that. Part of the idea too is we want to be able to expose them to the techs that are in the trade. As technology changes and new courses come up or new certifications come up, we do want to be able to expose them to that and give them the tools to be able to go and get that training. So I think it's fair to say that we do have a demand in our industry, and we need to find a way to fill it.
Sure.
Right? So that's good for that. Now, why do you think we do have a labor shortage in our trade? So what is it in the automotive world? Why are not enough technicians going into the trade?
Well, a couple things. So first thing is average age is probably upper 40s to low 50s as far as the average age of the technician. So what you're seeing is a generation gap, right? I mean, you're seeing the baby boomers that are getting older, and these are the people that have been in the industry for a long time. Then you go and you jump back to the new generation, which is more the millennials. And let's face it, this is very difficult work. Okay, it requires a lot of skill. It requires a lot of labor. We know that the average technician in the United States makes about $54K a year, is about what the average is. So when you look at that, I mean, you sit there and I think a lot of these young people, the millennials, are thinking that they're going to get out of school and they're going to make over $100,000. Can you? Yes, you can. But everybody's not going to make it. So the reality of it is, I think because of the specialty, the training, and then the most important thing is the tool requirement. The tool requirement is very high. So, we want to be able to be in front of that, be able to offer, some stability and a career path for the new age technician.
Okay, great. Now, what can the industry do, and what can colleges do, and what can educational institutions do you believe, to create more awareness for the trade? I mean, we speak to a lot of people, and you know, it's a trade, it's a profession that's in a lot of demand. There seems to be also that gap of how do we entice these technicians that when they're going into trade schools or vocational schools to really pick automotive. I mean, it's not your grandfather's automotive world. It's not the same body shop anymore. I mean, it's very highly technically driven. It's a clean environment. The workspace is a lot safer. What can we do as an industry to potentially attract more people to it and create more awareness?
Well, I believe the first thing is just, you know, the whole piece of awareness, right? So first of all, through Skillstrader, what I believe you're going to be able to do is just say, hey, you know, here's what's out there for you. I mean, we can offer you the training, we can help get you placed, and there's a big demand for that. But let's face it, in the workforce today in the U.S. in the year 2019, there's more jobs than there are people. So our trade isn't the only one that's suffering from that. So I just think it's awareness. Some kids really like cars. They like working with their hands. They don't want to go the mechanical side, so they're willing to take that chance. And that's what we have to present out there to them, is just the opportunity, right? I mean, this is the land of opportunity. America's a great country to live in. There's a lot of opportunity, and you know what? Sky's the limit.
It is. Well, hey, I mean, this was a great first episode. I mean, I'm super excited to be able to be here in Dallas and speak to you, and I think we got a lot of great information out of this. And we appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thanks so much, Fadi. Yeah, thanks so much, and good luck with
I
Skillstrader.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next week.